guys, Biracial Tiffany here. I have excellent news. I made a short film, a documentary of sorts, out of this video series, and it was accepted and will be shown at the Mixed Roots Film and Literary Festival in LA in June. This is the program from last year. And I'm just so excited, and I'm definitely going to go. Especially if you live in LA, you should definitely come. It's totally free. And there are workshops and films and live performances, and I'm just really so very much looking forward to it. I'm going to put a link to the website for the festival on this video somewhere, and check it out. And if you can't go, but you think it looks like it's going to be wonderful, and maybe you'd like to support the endeavor by making a tax-deductible donation to the festival while you're there at the website. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that. Today I just wanted to talk about this thing. I was lucky enough to participate in. New York Theater Workshop has a workshop, a playwriting workshop, where they everyone in the workshop is either over 60 or under 20 and over 60. And it's called Mind the Gap. I believe that means Mind the Generation Gap. And what they do is pair these playwrights up. Many, if not most of them, are first-time playwrights. There's an elder and a younger, and they interview each other, and then out of those interviews they were to write a play or an excerpt from a play. I was just invited to be one of the actors read their plays. And it was really, I found it really fascinating. I was surprised, I guess, that my favorite plays of the, 14 that I heard were from the younger playwrights. One, he looked to me to be about 13 or 14, but I don't know. I know that the youngest person was 13 and the oldest person was 84. So I'm just guessing that this guy that wrote this play or piece of a play that I thought was really, I was just really impressed, to say the least. It was so young. And then a 17-year-old wrote a play. It was called I Drank White Water, about a young, probably 12-year-old black girl in Georgia in the 60s, and a lady who, a white lady who owned a dress shop that the girl's grandmother supplied some fabric for. It, of course, had to do with race and segregation and Jim Crow laws. There's a point in the play where the girl, the colored drinking fountain is broken, so the white lady goes to the white drinking fountain and puts some white water in a cup for the girl and says, you know, water is clear, it's not white. After each piece was read, the person who wrote it would talk a little. The person who they had interviewed to get the material for the piece spoke about it as well, and the lady who the character I was playing was based off of was just so touched by the way this young man told her story and how vividly he captured her memories. And she pulled out of her purse this little, like a collapsible, it was probably when it was not collapsed, it was the size of a Dixie cup. And she said, my grandmother always used to carry around this little cup, and when we would go to these shops of the white people, she would always say, oh, my granddaughter is so thirsty, could you give her a little bit of your white water? And she's, you know, choking up as she's telling us this story, and it was, I have to say, it was like a beautiful moment. The fact that she had the cup, I thought was so cool in so many ways, because it's like, you know, you kind of know that you're gonna turn out a little bit like your mom or your grandma or whoever raised you. Like, I know that my purse is always gonna be a mess. My mom's purse is such a mess, you know, and it's like, yep, that's me, and that's gonna continue to be me. It's just gonna get messier. Though I enjoyed the youngers plays perhaps a little bit more. I enjoyed certainly hearing the observations of the elders after each piece, and it was so interesting. I mean, not surprising in any way, but it was like their observations were so astute and kind of deep, and it was like they understood character, and I don't mean, I mean a person's character, or what kind of things contribute to a person being a certain way or something. I don't know, I was just really so thrilled to just be able to sit there and listen to this whole thing. Just thinking about the title, Mind the Gap, and I think that biracial people are in the gap. We are proof that there is still a gap. I don't know. I've been blogging a lot in the last week or two, so maybe you want to check that out. So yeah, Mind the Gap. I feel like with this vlog, I am minding the gap, because I think I witness people perceiving otherness in people, and I think that creates a gap, that creates a space between you and I where, I don't know, uncommon ground, perceived uncommon ground. So you've got people on one side of the gap and people on the other side of the gap. Then you have all these biracial people sort of in the middle of the gap. And I think if we just stand up and say, here we are, we can be the bridge. But I think the ways of the people on either side are such that it keeps us from speaking up, because someone's going to call you a tragic mulatto, or someone's going to say that you're denying your black half, or someone's going to say you'll never be white. You know, geez, all the stuff that people say. I just kind of feel like I'm down here minding the gap. Yeah, I thought that that was gonna like feel like a dead on, like, oh, like, yes, this is something I've needed to say on this vlog, and now I'm like, that's what you say every time.